I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Amelia's duel hits the front. Immature is coming right away for Damien Oliver.
Bella Nipotina, and boy, doesn't she deserve this.
The Giga Kick's got a strong kick.
Golden Mile, soar out the mile. I'm thunderstruck over the top. Mr. Brightside has won the mile.
And Militarized blows them away in the Champagne Stakes. And she's a class act, pulling right away Prowess. And Zoo Gotcha won it by 2.5.
Zaki joined by Animo, who looks destiny in the face.
Before we get started on everything, I found this banger that I really want to share with you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be a self-indulgent podcast, this one.
Yeah, fuck you.
We're better.
Oh, mate.
We're better.
Dominant. Alpha male activity. Baby.
Oh, mate. It was just, what a night. And you know what? The weekend started well as well because these boys got the job done as well.
I'm not a Broncos fan, but I can get around this. Where's Buck? Where is he? Oh. Mate, the Sunshine State is where it's at.
Mate, 2 prelims in a fortnight. Where else would you want to be?
Mate, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Oh, mate, how you feeling?
Ecstatic. Because, mate, this jersey I'm wearing, right? Bought this 10 years ago as a 10-year anniversary of the 2003 Grand Final win. It has all the players from the 3-peat that played.
I see some serious names. Ashcroft, Lynch, Brown, Charman.
All of them.
Mate, what a stacked side.
Darryl White, Jonathan Brown, Michael Voss. Now, we might be playing them in a prelim.
Geez, wouldn't that be...
The favourite son.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a full circle moment?
But mate, let's talk about it. Let's go back to the Lions,
yeah,
right? Because you might think I look ridiculous. I always dress like this.
No, you do.
Yeah, I've got 3 scarves on. I've got my Bears, my Fitzroy, and my Lions one. I've got my jersey on, which I never wear, and I've got my Broncos cap on.
You might think
I'm prepared.
Oh, mate, you look fantastic in my humble. You might think, Drifters, that this is a horse racing podcast. You'd be terribly mistaken.
For the first 15 minutes, we're not a horse racing podcast because, mate, let's go through the game. All right, let's just go through the Brisbane Lions team, right? Brandon Starcevich, outstanding. Harris Andrews just marked his dick off. Jack Payne made some mistakes, but, he's come of age this year.
50th game, mate. So he's on an upward spiral.
5-year contract? Yeah.
Yeah.
Loves planes too. Connor McKenna, friend of this podcast and of you.
Yes. I'd say he's probably one of my best mates, actually. Connor McKenna. His lovely partner works with us. Yes.
Darcy Wilmot, not many players debut in a final. This is what this guy did last year, and he has been absolutely sensational for last year.
He's good.
Oh, who's that at centre halfback? Ryan Lester from the grave.
Froggy from the grave, mate.
The heart and soul of the club.
But which is fair enough. Heart and soul of the club. Every time they extended him by a year, you're like, okay, mate. But he's actually justified it this year, mate. He's phenomenal.
He's like a nice wine from the Barossa.
Yeah, he is. Oh. Ben Folds, bin 182, 128.
Huey McLuggage had a hip issue. And then he just, what's that? 5 minutes to go in the half. Let me just turn it on.
Let me actually just establish myself here. Let me piss on the ground.
Oh.
Hugh's my guy.
Yeah, he's a stud, mate.
He's my guy.
He's a stud. Josh Dunkley, what a recruit of the year.
Comfortably.
Easily. Dane Zorko.
Honestly,
the best field kick in the game.
Oh, mate, he's fast with his fingers. he's fast with his kicking as well. I'll tell you that much for free.
Chucky Cameron had a quiet game, but it wasn't his fault because oh, what's that? His jersey was getting hold every fucking 2 minutes.
Oh, mate, that was frustrating.
Oh, and, you know, just because it's Chuck, oh, no, you know, we'll let that go. Let the boys play. Oh, when it's the other side.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. But, you know, he kicks him. Not many people, right? I see on Twitter, and we're going to talk about Twitter later because there is some interesting stuff on there with the horse. There's rugby league, there's AFL, and there's horse racing. There's some juicy stuff on horse racing.
What's Twitter? You mean X?
X, yeah. But,
come on, Elon.
Mate, Charlie, right? Third quarter, kicks his first. The whole crowd singing Country Roads, which is divided the AFL. I fucking love it. I love it.
Oh, mate, it's fantastic.
So you could hear, you know, Mountain Mama, and then he kicks his second. They didn't even finish the chorus.
Take me home, country road, to a place I belong, West Virginia.
Oh, good shit. Mate, Eric Hipwood, finals player. He started that game red hot. He was marking up the ground. He was marking inside 50. He just wasn't converting.
Yeah, just like, if he kicks it a bit straighter. Come on, Derek.
Cal Archie, he's been phenomenal this year, career year.
Oh, easy. Like he got probably injected back into the side maybe, would have only been like 8 or 9 weeks ago. Yeah. And since then, it's like he has to be in the side.
Mate, outstanding contested mark.
Yes.
Like he'll get his arms don't move when they're over his head.
And there's not much to him either.
No. He's just a rugby league AFL footballer.
he's just a rugby league player.
Yeah. Cam Rayner, just important first half.
Mate,
goals.
he makes me feel horny.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Is it that hairstyle?
Yeah, it's everything.
Salad, big seat on him.
Big, massive seat. Do you know what he's got? He's got like a Kalen Ponga rig. Yeah. You look at Kalen Ponga, you're like, oh no, he's not that big. And then, but you look closely at Kalen Ponga. Massive hips, big ass, big quads.
Yeah.
Just so that's where all the power's generated, mate. And that's the Cam Rayner rig.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's that? I'll just, jog from 55 and slot one. Of course he will.
Mate, if you could patent that rig, like that's what I'd patent. It's like the peak athletic build.
Oh, there was several robberies last night, but one of the robberies of the year was Joe Danaher not being selected in the Australian side.
He's had a fantastic year.
Honestly.
If he wasn't Joe Danaher, he would have been in the side.
You know what I love Joe. Always have loved Joe. I think there's two things that can be polarizing, or there's one thing that's polarizing about him is when he just stops playing footy and he puts his arms out. I hate that. Just play the ball, Joe. But, mate, he kicked 5 goals. And you know what he does better than any other key forward in the game is his time in the ruck, mate. His time in the ruck is so important. Because
and I think he's quite actually indifferent about playing AFL.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is my job. So, which also is good because it's like, hey, Joe, we need you to go into the ruck. He's like, okay, like, I'm not precious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just always good to see ex-Essendon players win a final because they're not going to do it at Essendon.
No, they're not.
Connor McKenna's another one too.
Connor McKenna, friend of the podcast.
Zach Bailey kicking the first goal of the game, just so speedy. I don't think there's a quicker man in AFL.
Link.
Mate.
One of those guys
yes,
who, when he's not in the side, you're like, whatever. But then when he's in the side, you're like, actually, he's so important.
Pressure, kicks, key goals, doesn't miss. Big O, Oscar.
Big O is phenomenal.
He just gets it and he whacks it forward.
Yeah. Again, he's not precious. Big O.
Chalky, 1 disposal in the first quarter, had a sensational game.
Yeah.
He was, you know what you're going to get. Jared Berry, he was good. Dev, the Rig Robinson.
Mate, more Instagram followers than Cristiano Ronaldo.
Kadeen Coleman.
Oh, you lose Rich Flavour, which, shed a tear.
Yes.
May God bless you.
Hey, he played in the twos yesterday, 24 touches.
Of course he did. Yeah. Of course he did.
3 score involvements.
But also,
he's ready to go.
Is he not the embodiment of, the Lions?
Yes.
Rich Flavour.
Yes.
Gets drafted, in a teen sort of pick?
He was like pick 8, pick 10. Yeah, pick 9, pick 10.
But clearly a good player from WA comes over to Brisbane and is just like, no, yeah, I'll put up stumps here. Mate, put up stumps here, mate. There's atomic bombs going off left, right, and centre. You're going to stay here. He's like, no,
yeah. I believe in this club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolute. He doesn't actually have a left foot, mate. He has a rocket.
Yes, he does.
Never seen a better kick in my life.
Yeah. Kadeen Coleman, he was sensational. And, mate, your guy, Jasper Fletcher. 3 goals.
How good is he?
Mate, he's that, when Port, and you know what was so pleasing about last night is that Port Adelaide played a good half of footy.
Mm.
They kept coming, but Brisbane just turned it on and they responded, which, in previous years they've knelt over and gone like, oh, you have your way with me.
Yeah.
But Jasper Fletcher, mate, off that thing off half back, that had me up and about.
Oh, mate, what a star.
And then the professional, the one of the steals of all time, Jared Lyons coming on, 38 seconds in, he kicks a goal. And didn't you love seeing the boys get around him?
Yeah, just like, good job, old man.
Good to see. Anyway, that's probably enough. But Broncos Friday night, first time they've kept a team scoreless all year.
Oh, mate, I was at the game, Drifters. My lovely wife, G, is a Melbourne Storm fan, and I'd say the Storm would probably be my second team. I'm not a Broncos fan, but I don't dislike the Broncos. That's how I'd put it. But they were electric. Yeah. Like,
Reno?
that's... Oh.
How was his dropout? That's the best I've ever seen.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Do you know it's not phenomenal? The Rabbitohs recruitment.
Oh, my God.
I'm speechless with that. I was speechless at the time. I'm speechless now. Every premiership rugby league side is built off a few key fundamentals. First one, and the most important one, is a forward pack that doesn't take a backward step.
What, Payne Haas has been sensational?
I'm in Payne Haas. Paddy Carrigan.
Oh, Flegler?
Fiddle me Flegler. Paddy Carrigan, I think he's the Charlie Cameron of the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like, completely different style of players, but like the...
vastly different.
But like we got him. You know what I mean? We got Paddy. You know what I mean?
And then you have someone like Jordan Ricky, who's harnessed his positive and aggressive energy.
Mate, Jordan Ricky's competing with Buck when it comes to a mouth, mate. Like, he's got a fair set of chompers on him. Jordan Ricky looks at Buck, he's like... Buck's like... like, it's a fair set of chompers. He's a good-looking man. But, like, every premiership winning side in rugby league is built of a few... Fucking Jesus Christ. Key fundamentals. Dominant forward pack.
Yeah.
A general.
Yeah.
At half back.
I'd say the Broncos have that.
Yeah. Adam Reynolds. And some X Factor.
Yeah. Reece Lightning.
Yeah, Reece Lightning.
Yeah.
Mate, he is... I don't think I've ever seen a player in my entire lifetime watching the great game of rugby league, and I've watched a lot of rugby league, Drifters, usually a losing team. But but I don't think I've ever seen a player go from like nothing to maximum acceleration in a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
Like, he'd get beaten over 100 metres by a lot of players, but not over 20.
No.
Like, he is so fast off the
So
mark. It's
fast.
incredible.
Yeah.
He's got a Reece Walsh type rig.
He's sensational.
He's got a Reece Walsh type rig.
Yeah. And he's a bad man.
Yeah.
He's already father.
yeah. 2-1.
Yeah. That we know of?
That we know. Mate, tell you what, based on what I've heard about his DMs, he could be father of several if he wanted to be. I've heard some stories.
It's good to live in Brisbane. That is for sure. So, all right, the Twitter stuff. So this is funny. Trust me. You might not be a rugby league or an AFL fan, but you want to listen to this, right?
Yeah.
All right. Simon on Twitter, Port Adelaide fan. 29 and 28 of the most useless touches. 29 and... Sorry, I'm trying to read this through the bloody microphone arm. All right.
By the way, Drifters, like, I'm probably still pissed from last night. So when you listen to this, just, yeah.
All right. 29 and 28 are the most useless touches ever. Might as well have been at home. Your front-running downhill skiing stars fucking suck. And it's time more people realise that. He was talking about Butters and Rosie. Now, if they weren't playing, they get done by 20 goals.
Yes.
They were really, really
They
good.
were so good.
So Simon,
You were a victim, mate. What a victim.
I know, mate. How funny is that? But, oh, mate. So the Roosters, fair to say, they're on the charge.
Mate, good friend of the podcast, Brad West, and I were exchanging some text messages yesterday morning, and he said, this is the most confident I've ever been all year that we'll win a game. I was like, mate, I am with you. The Sharks are pretenders.
So, this bloke on Twitter, right? He's had a full-blown meltdown, and he's a Sharks fan, and it's not Buzz Rothfield.
Oh, shit.
So,
Is this Scotty Morrison?
Sutho Dan. So,
He's from Sutherland.
Yeah. All right. Fitzgibbon has to go. He needs to take Tracy, Brayley, Rudolph, Talakai, Hunt, Kafusi, and Finucane with him. It's a quarter of the squad.
You what?
He's not done. Hines needs to hand back 500k, and Mulatalo and Ramian need to decide if they want to play football or be media personalities.
Holy shit.
Mate, he's not done.
He's gone full Oppenheimer, mate.
Oh, mate. You know what the Roosters did tonight? They showed heart. That must be nice.
What? What a victim.
Oh, mate. Fuck the Sharks. All of them. Last one. And he's got heaps more. I'm legitimately broken. I have nothing clever to say other than to apologise for anyone I've ever argued with when you called us frauds, flat track bullies, and simply not good enough.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
That victim mentality, mate, honestly.
Oh,
That's funny, though.
oh, so good.
Mate, Nico won you a bloody Dally M last year.
I know.
Like, he's the best. He's arguably the best signing a club's made in the last decade.
I know.
Full stop.
I know.
That's a statement, but like they got him for next to nothing.
Yeah.
And now they're paying him some cash because he won the Dally M last year.
And what's that? He deserves it.
Yeah, exactly. He's phenomenal. Loser. Anyway.
All right. Now, this is where we enter the horse racing chat because there's plenty to get onto, but punters.com.au, right? We all know them. We all love them or hate them. They have their review article, right, where they have like the punter's perler and the sack, the slaughter ride for jockeys and that sort of thing.
I've never seen that, but yeah.
So it's like money that came for like great performances. Basically a summary right across Australia.
So
right?
like the second best review
Yeah.
in Australia, yeah.
So they tweeted out, right? Our review of racing around the country today with a split-second decision ending in a narrow defeat and the dreaded Saturday slaughter, right? So their Saturday slaughter is basically what jockey had the worst ride. Now,
We could be leading into something here, Drifters.
it's not the ride you think. Now, we were texting about this yesterday. They've nominated Ben Melham's ride on attrition as the Saturday slaughter. Now, I'm going to show you a screenshot here, right? That's what they've kind of highlighted.
Yep.
Now, what you don't see is about a millisecond after this, you see how far outside or behind pinstriped attrition is right now.
Yep.
And that gap did not exist prior to that. It's like, it was just one of those things. It's like, all right, I'm going right instead of left. And then they lose by 0.1 lengths right. A nose. And that's the Saturday slaughter. Ben Melham has bitten back.
Has he?
Yeah. He's like, lol, and this garbage is exactly why no one reads your tripe. Jog on.
That's why Benny Melham is listening to us. Because we wouldn't say it's a slaughter.
No way.
Like, it's a split-second decision. Did he make the wrong one? Potentially.
But it's not a slaughter.
But it's not a slaughter. It's
No.
literally a coin flip.
Yeah, especially because obviously we don't know what we're talking about, right? And we're probably going to...
No, not at all.
Because we're going to get into some assessment of some jockey rides later.
Oh, we just...
And some of it will be warranted. Some of it will be probably a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
But we acknowledge that we can't do what they can do.
No.
And we would never, I feel, go that hard on something where no one would know that unless you're a jockey.
100%.
What it's like to be in that situation.
100%.
Right?
And do you know what that reeks of? That reeks of the person who wrote the article having a small fortune responsibly on attrition.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes you have to take your medicine. Like I'm certainly one who can be very upset with a jockey after I've been on something and it's been slaughtered. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, it's horse racing.
Yeah.
So you have to take your medicine.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Okay, so there was a couple of rides yesterday, Drifters, that were a bit, had some question marks around them, right? So let's start with Giga Kick and Craig Williams. What were your initial thoughts watching the race? Were you disappointed? Were you, what were your initial thoughts?
Couple of things. Clayton Douglas, during the day, he was being interviewed on racing.com and basically said, I'm supremely confident in the horse. Only concern is if he misses the jump, which is what he did. J-Mac, before the race, said he was working for Channel 7 on the day. Concern for Giga Kick is if he misses the jump, 1,000 metres, you blink and it's over. He misses the jump. So as soon as he missed the jump, I was like, oh, shit, this is going to be very hard. And then when Willow went so early, I was like, does he just have something that, like, under the hood is so much better than everyone else? It's like, no, Giga Kick isn't Winks. He's a very good horse, but he's not Winks. Like, not a lot of horses could win with that ride, missing the jump over 1,000 metres. People probably jumping off him for the Everest. Like, don't you idiot. Yeah. Like, this is different gravy. But Imperatriz, mate, she wasn't touched.
Yeah.
Broke the track record.
Yep. She also had, like, probably the best lead-in, like, bum to follow, like, across Australia yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, from this tempo set up front by, Zoo Style and the rest of those speed bumps, like, the 3-class horses in the race ran 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And Giga Kick actually ran the fastest 6 to the 4 of the meeting. He went like 10.55.
Yeah, too fast.
Like way too fast.
Way too fast.
Craig, to his credit, said, I went too early. And basically the ride, he essentially said that the ride cost him the race. And it's like, well, not necessarily, because probably his manners in the barriers actually cost him the race.
He can be tardy out of the gates.
Yeah. So I said it immediately after the race. I'm like, Willow should have just taken his medicine and probably gone from the 4 and run on for second, or if he's good enough, win the race.
Yeah.
Like, he hit the button way too early, and you could just see it's like he was just knocked up at the end of it. And Imperatriz, she has that form, like, over way further. She's just, I think everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people just underestimate how good she is.
Yeah. Look, this is great to say this after the race. I didn't underestimate her. I just was like, nah, Giga Kick's better, which I still believe. But remember that Group 1 win that Imperatriz had across the Dutch, probably about 6 weeks before she came over for the Canterbury Stakes? That performance from a rating perspective that she had across the ditch over there, the only horse that would have beaten her in the last X amount of years would have been, based on rating, would have been Nature Strip.
Yeah, right.
So, like, she's capable of producing, like, a phenomenal performance like that, which she did yesterday. And she's probably not going to the Everest. She's going to the Moya and the Manikato. Do you know what I loved? I can't remember the assistant trainer's name. They interviewed him on Channel 7 yesterday after the race. And basically, I think Richo was interviewing him, trying to sort of implicate, I know you haven't said the Everest, but, like, what could happen in a few weeks? They're like, no, we're going to the Moya and we're going to the Manikato, which I love a trainer to say that. No, this is a plan. Like, if you're a futures punter, back with confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, she was phenomenal.
Yeah. I think she ran she obviously smashed the clock. I think from the 6 or 800 home, she broke 11 each sectional. Like, you kind of need to do that in a 1,000-meter race. Like at the Valley, they can run like extremely quick times. She broke the track record. She's beaten Giga Kick 2.5 lengths. I'm not too fussed for Giga Kick.
No.
We see his best run third up. I actually think he's, in reflection, looking at everything, I think the best performance we've seen from him is either the Everest or that 1,400-meter race.
All aged.
Yeah. Like that all aged was pretty sensational.
Yeah.
And both those runs were third up, So
yes, they were also clockwise, not anti-clockwise.
And yeah, that was the suggestion. And Clayton Douglas was also saying, we broke this horse in the Sydney way of going as well, which he's like, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I think it might, Clayton.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever touched a horse.
I've actually never touched one.
Yeah. So interesting. I love that Craig took ownership.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And, I back Craig to get it right. He gets it right more often than he doesn't. And it's like, he has this in him on a big shorty. Yeah. And, but would you prefer Craig Williams on your horse or Joey McNeil?
You know the answer to that. Mate, James McDonald, who's arguably the best jockey in the world, is capable of a massive butcher.
Yeah, they all are.
They all are. So it just is what it is.
Without the jocks, we don't have the sport of horse racing.
Exactly.
So,
but
what I'm alluding to, Drifters, is the benchmark 100 that Berkeley Square was your favourite in.
Yep.
This was a weird race. Like one of the weirdest I've seen. So if we just watch this from go to woe here, Berkeley Square, as he's proven previously out at this distance at the Valley, is taking a sit here, and he's sitting around, top 4, top 5 in a frankly sensational position. But then they're going that slow ahead of him. He has nowhere to go really until about maybe the 600, where he could have got in a 3-wide line, but then you're like, well, I'm in such a good position here, I may as well keep it. I think that's Jimmy the Bear ahead of him, who doesn't run out 2,000 metres, and I think he was ridden that way to reserve all energy. This race, compared to the benchmark 70 over the same distance, was 27 lengths slower to the 600 metres.
They're absolutely walking.
So, and it starts here, right? Basically, Jai, a lot of punters would be really upset with Jai after this ride, right? He can't do anything. He's in a really, really tough position here. And look at all of them, kind of like, he's basically gone from 4th or 5th, and he just keeps getting shuffled back, and he has nowhere to go.
Oh, it is like...
So now he's third last, and they're about 800 from home.
And there's absolutely no way. As soon as that happened, as a punter who was on him, you're just like, well, he can't win the race. No. It's impossible for him to win the race.
No.
And I tell you what, like, I could name 10 jockeys off the top of my head who would have shown some assertiveness and been like, nah, I'd much rather be 3 wide with no cover. Like, surely he understood the tempo was so slow. Surely he saw all the horses shuffling in front of him, and he was like, "Oh, I need to do something, mate." That was one of the worst rides I've ever seen. Like, no, like I don't want to, absolutely pot a bloke, but it's one of the worst rides I've ever seen. So I don't know. Has someone interviewed him like post race? Like, has there been any conversation?
I'd love to look at all that sort of stuff, but one, Racing Victoria only do it for specific races, and 2, separate note, I'd love to see what happened in the stewards report, but that's not available either.
Yeah, Racing Victoria, mate.
Honestly, what are they doing,
mate? How about them giving the Melbourne Cup week rights to Channel 9?
Yeah.
every single other person involved in that bid was like, no, we want Channel 7.
Yeah.
And Racing Victoria was like, no, we'll go Channel 9. Oh, gee whiz. Worrying stuff.
I look at that race, right, and I'm like, he could have taken that 3 wide line really early, but then if he goes on to lose the race, it's the same criticism, you know what I mean? So it's like,
but I don't know so Willow used to ride Berkeley Square. Willow, I reckon, would have led. Like, almost would have been like, you guys are going too slow. I'm just going to lead on this thing and what's under the hood. Like, we've seen from Berkeley Square, like so that was, I think, his 10th race. He's only finished out of the placings like twice. And I think one of them was a 4th and maybe the other one was a 4th or something close. So clearly, like, yeah, that's not a Group 1 race. It's not a group race. But clearly he's a horse with some ability. It's just like, give us the chance to see that. Yeah. And riding him like that was so negative. Like, that is honestly, like, we texted each other immediately after the race being like, that's one of the worst rides we've ever seen.
In reflection, looking at it more, I'm not sure what else he could have done.
Yeah. But see, look, I'm like that guy on Twitter who's clearly got some cash on Berkeley Square. So, look, all is forgiven, Jai, but, oh, man, I was not happy watching that as a punter.
You were early on, I guess, not drinking the Jai Kool-Aid.
Yes.
When he won that premiership, you're like, I don't think so.
When was the last time you were like, that's a phenomenal ride by Jai McNeil?
Nothing comes to mind.
I'm thunderstruck in the 2-Oak Handicap.
Well, yeah, but that's years ago.
Exactly. And guess who had the ride on him in the Golden Eagle a few weeks later?
Hugh
Bowman.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. Oh, man,
but we both, that year, right, we backed like 6 of Jai's rides on Derby Day. That's why he stayed in Victoria. I feel like that's a bit of an unfair comparison.
True, you got me there. But did he have the day on Derby Day we thought he did?
Oh,
thought he would?
Clearly not, because I had a dog shit day.
Clearly not. So I'm not a massive fan. I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the guy. Like, I don't know him, obviously, and I'm sure he's a wonderful, terrific bloke. Like, so we're not potting in the guy. Obviously, drifters. We're not doing that at all. And again, we're not jockeys, and what they do is incredible. But I don't rate him that highly as a jockey.
Yep. All right, Chris Waller. I reckon we should put our hand up to do some jobs for Chris. I think he needs a bit of an admin assistant.
Yeah, I think he does. You lead this because you were particularly unhappy with a couple of scratchings.
Mate, Francesco Guardi, Ivan's hero, way more in Sydney and Victoria. And to his credit, he came out and he said, Francesco Guardi's been safe for another day. Everything's fine with the horse, but we just, but Chris, you scratched him at 7:57.
Yeah.
The deadline is 7:30. Like, what is taking you so long to do this?
Yeah.
And the other thing that you highlighted as well, and maybe this is like some bookies not updating it across others, like, but it wasn't necessarily on like your race nets and that sort of thing in the morning, which is so important for punters that want to have an early play, because especially at those horses that are in those bigger races, if you find one at a bit of value, you want to know who's riding it.
Yeah.
And for you with Tannhauser, and he was actually fined for this. Let me have a look here. Trainer C. Waller was fined $400 for failing to declare apprentice Zach Lloyd as the rider of the colt by the prescribed time. Rounding the home turn, faced him. Anyway, so $400 for not declaring the rider in time. He's not the only one. I think Mar Eustace had a couple of those as well. But, shock me. It's the big stables that are struggling to do this.
Yeah.
He's known all week that James McDonald is not riding for him.
Yeah.
Is that because, like, Zach Lloyd's, like, going, like, I might ride this. I might ride this one.
Yeah.
There would have been some jockeys that hadn't got a ride there. I much prefer to look after the punters that we know this a longer time in advance.
Oh, man, I'm 100% with you. Like, without us, without punters, the industry doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And, you know...
Does he train too many horses?
Oh, well, it's probably not a question of if he trains too many horses. It's more of a question of does he have the structures and processes and frameworks in place to be able to run the business as well as he needs to for shit like that to not happen. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, like we saw on the weekend, like Military Eyes, who got nominated for multiple races. He's got horses that nominate in Victoria, when they end up racing in Sydney and all that sort of stuff. It's like yeah, you want to keep your options open, but at the same time, it's like well yeah, we understand that, but like as punters, who are the ones supporting, supporting the industry, it's like we need to know this stuff before Saturday at 8 a.m.
Because with those dual acceptors, that shits me to tears as well, because they know by probably Thursday lunchtime that because they have to organise the horse to get from Sydney to Victoria or Brisbane or wherever.
Yep.
But it's still in the market on a Friday.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Is that a directive from the bigger bookies, potentially? Going like, if you leave this thing in, we'll bring it in a bit, and then our market percentage, like we take more deductions out.
Yep.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But that's just me potentially reading between the lines. And it's like, we've got it tough enough as it is.
Yeah, especially us. We're terrible.
Yes.
So yeah, we've been a bit, we've taken some swipes at people.
Yeah.
But like I think as punters, and we've got not a big platform, we've got a bit of a platform. We've got to defend the punters.
I agree. Let's get into a very quick summary of the races across Rosehill and at Moonee Valley. The Shirako Stakes. Now, Nicholas Scala, listener question. Did Espiona's slashing second have you guys as excited as me?
This is a terrific question. No, purely because the fact that you messaged us saying that means you're more excited than we are, but she was good.
She was sensational.
Yeah.
Track record here as well, you tell me.
Yes.
Over the 1,200 metres.
I was having a responsible drink with a friend of the podcast, Corey Barsby, Blue Eyes, last night, and he was on Sunshine in Paris, and he was like, I'm a massive fan of this girl, and I think rightly so.
Yeah. Don't want to blow my own horn, but mentioned on the podcast on Wednesday by myself. I did lean the other way of Iron Me on the day because they were the two I was keen on. I wasn't an Iron Me guy prior to the race, and I'm not an Iron Me guy post race. What I did say as well was either one of Sunshine in Paris, Apte, or Iron Me will get an Everest slot after this. Sunshine in Paris will get an Everest
She's
slot.
the one. She's 100% the one.
Yeah.
Like, that's her sixth race start, mate. She's very lightly raced. She's won a Group 1.
Defeating in secret.
She was dynamic there. Started off a hot speed, went bang. Are they the same silks as Argentia, or are they the same silks?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. They've got a smart one. She's very smart, mate. I'm a fan after that. Espiona, to your point, Drifter. Yeah, she was great. She was fantastic. Great return.
Look at her head.
Yeah. Look at her head.
Look at it. Now. Look at it.
Yes, I know.
What is she doing?
I know.
Nash. So, this is what Nash said.
Do you know what Nash is? He's hot.
Yeah, mate. He had a sensational day yesterday.
He's hot.
And tell you what, that Godolphin blue looks sensational on him.
Phenomenal. like I saw him ride Kementari and I was like, who's that? And then he was riding Cylinder yesterday. I was like, that's Nash. He's hot.
All right. So this is what was actually said in the stewards report from Nash. I didn't want to expose her too early because she's a bit of a victim.
You're kidding me.
Nah, I am kidding. But he basically said to that extent, like, if I expose this horse, she just does everything wrong. So she needs to be in behind, exposed really late, and then you see what she can provide, right?
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Like I think he has a bit of horse DNA.
I think he does, Nashy.
Yeah.
He just gets it, mate. He's so good.
Yeah. Kieran was on a tissue and shocked me. She didn't have a run either.
He somehow, on one of the widest straights in Australia, found the arse of about 20 horses when there was only 6 in the race. Oh, mate.
So
Public enemy number 1.
Atishu's been good last 12 months. Remember that day where she just refused to leave the gates?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, that's a good training performance by
Yeah,
Seaboller.
it is. It is.
Because Group 1 winner since then. But she is quite inconsistent as well because I think she came up here and finished last.
Yeah. So that Group 1 win she had was like quite clearly the performance of her life.
Yeah.
She won't win another Group 1.
All right. The Ming Dynasty. Now, this was a fascinating race. So they would have smashed the highway field over the same distance by about 8 lengths.
Yeah.
Actually, let me get back to this, right? So the Shirako. So they went 2.5 lengths quicker than the run to the Rose to the 600 meters.
Yep.
And then they've gone 2.5 lengths quicker home.
Holy dooly.
So they've smashed that cylinder race, but cylinder was held up for 300 meters in the straight.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you probably pick up a couple lengths there, right? So take that with a grain of salt, but that's what the times tell you. The Ming Dynasty. So, yeah, as I said, they would have smashed the highway by about 8 lengths, which, you'd hope they would.
With all due respect to the highway participants.
But so much so that basically every single horse in that race, I think there was like 15 of them, right?
Yeah.
So like 14 of the 15 would have beaten home every single run in the highway. The only one's Townsend, who actually had a slow recovery, and he would have run a close second. It's not like for like that, as we know, but it gives you a sense of like the times that they were running on the day.
Yep.
I thought the run of the race for mine was Tom Kitten. He was 3 wide without cover the entire trip, and he still found the line. I thought he was really, really strong.
Yeah, he was.
Look at this big fella on the outside. Cafe Millennium.
He's so big.
Look at him. He dwarfs it. Dwarfs Ducasse. Tom Kitten's a big horse.
He's so big. It's actually alarming how big he is.
Big bro.
Do you know what I want to see? Like, everyone's talking about a match race between Giga Kick and I Wish I Win. No, fuck that. I want to see a match race between Hawaii 5-0 and Cafe Millennium, the 2 biggest horses I've ever seen. Oh, Yulong Turbo's pretty big.
Yulong Turbo.
And Behemoth's pretty big.
Behemoth was big. Globe's big.
Globe is big.
Yeah.
What a pretender he is.
Oh, he has an excuse. But
Wait. Excuse me? Something out of the Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. stable has an excuse after failing? Excuse me?
he said that. Hey, it's not Jack and Noah, right?
Yeah.
You know what they do? They keep the breeders happy.
They do.
They keep the breeders real happy because it's like, no. It wasn't the horse's fault.
Yeah.
It was his heart's fault.
They can produce a stud.
Yeah.
Though. Like Mick Price can produce a stud.
Absolutely. NCAP was your winner here. Fair to say it had the perfect run.
Perfect.
Perfect run. And Brent Pebble, before the race.
Brett.
Yeah. He was
Rebel.
he's like, this horse, he's a bit finicky to ride. He has a really long action. So if we watch this again, there's a really long action. So it's like if you ride him too hard, he can get out of rhythm and then he just goes nowhere. But he also said, I was just praying for a good barrier. And then when I saw barrier 1, I was like, I'm not losing this race. So he was confident, fair to say.
Brent Pebble's good, man.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah, interesting. Ducasse, my on-top selection, was running on really nicely. I think something like a spring champion will be really good for him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think out of that race, he's a horse you can still follow.
Yeah. His pattern stinks, but
yeah.
But he's drawn out both starts.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, what does that look like if he draws 5?
Yep.
So,
I'm with you.
happy to see him. But Tom Kitten, he was really, really good. Now the run to the Rose. This is a very smart win. Very, very smart win. So I don't know about the strength of this race, though.
Yeah. Hard to say. Out of this race, though, who are the 2 horses that you'd want to follow?
You'd want to follow Cylinder.
Yep. And
Obviously,
a guy on the outside.
Obviously, Militarize.
Militarize.
And potentially the one in the Tagaloa Silks, Nadal, who's,
Yes,
come
actually.
from country grade, and he's run a pretty slashing 3rd or 4th there.
Yep.
But Cylinder,
He's professional.
he is. He's has a fantastic pattern. And again, Nash.
So hot.
It was like there was just others going quicker than me early, and then it's like, you know what? Wasn't in the plan, but I'm just going to have to ride this horse a little bit quiet, which he hasn't done, and then just present him at the right time, and he's going to be good enough. Don't overthink it.
No. I don't think I've ever been more attracted to a man. Like,
Light me up a cigarette.
Someone get the Winnie Blues. Nash needs one. Honestly, like, I think there's only one more alpha male in Australia, and that's the tax man. Because the tax man has his finger in every pie.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't have a finger in your pie, you go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
The tax man cometh, the tax man taketh. Nash cometh, Nash taketh.
All right, so let me think about this, right? Nash, he's Think It Over's jockey, probably the best placed horse in Australia over the last 3 years. Oh, what's that? He's currently the stable jockey for Godolphin by the looks of it as well, with TC gone and J-Mac out.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? The biggest stable in Australia. Chris Waller. Oh, yeah? I'll have the pick of your rights too.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's hot.
This is a sensational little retirement fund that he's building.
Yes. Yes, it is. Will he be able to see out that entire retirement, post 1,000 cigarettes? Probably not. But he's enjoying his life while he can, Nashy.
He is. Yeah, Militarized was good.
He's one of mine, that horse. He's talented.
Yep, he's very good. Libertad, I think he got found out.
Yeah, a bit flat.
Bit flat.
We were on him as well, so put our hand up there. But Cylinder, I think the 1,400 metres, query.
Big query. Huge query for mine. He's just been so good over this 1,100, 1,200 metre distances. I just look at that. Nothing out of this race really goes like alarm bells. I want to back you in the Golden Rose.
Yeah.
Charmstone's going to come up from Melbourne as well. I just look at Shinzo. I'm like,
maybe he does it fresh.
Honestly, mate, and that's the only query is like, you got better into your preparation, and are Coolmore really going? You know what? The Everest is the #1 target here. They probably are, but jeez, isn't a Golden Rose like a pretty big stallion making race? Does he need to?
The Golden Rose, if you look at history of the Golden Rose, arguably as much as the Coolmore Stud, if not more, because the fillies have had the boys measure a lot recently in the Coolmore. I'll reserve judgment, because 1,400 metres for a colt against his own age is different gravy to a 1,400 metre Group 1 weight for age race, obviously. So he could run it out just.
Cylinder we're talking about?
Cylinder, yep, sorry. And still get the chockies, but not be a 1,400 metre horse at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Reserve judgment, but we'll see.
Agreed. The Theo Marks, I was on the floor with this result. I just couldn't believe it. Tell you what, a lot came from that on speed in the perfect run sort of situation yesterday at Rosehill and at the Valley as well, actually. Golden Mile wins another race. Blink is on. Nash just doing Nash stuff. Once a big fan of this horse. He's a bit of a Goldilocks operator, Golden Mile.
Yeah. Do you know what? In hindsight, as soon as he drew well, he pinged the gates, sitting in that first third.
Look at that position.
Oh, like
So he's one off the leader on the fence. Argentia to his outside, and the leader comes off the fence, and he's just got the perfect run.
Yeah.
Literally doesn't go around another horse.
Yeah. So yeah, Golden Mile is a Group 1 winner, but he's not a Group 1 horse.
No.
That's how I'll say it.
He's not going to win against like a Wait for Age Open Age.
No. But he's added another group race to his tally. He'll stand at stud somewhere for Godolphin.
Yep. And what you see here, right, is the 3 horses behind him were all first up. The Inevitable was fantastic.
Yep.
Outstanding. Out to the mile. He could feature. I reckon he could run similar to his All-Star Mile.
That's phenomenal.
Run top 3.
Yeah.
I don't think he could win, but he could definitely run top 3. Waterford gelded. He was really nice. He has that think about it form. Like he started favourite against Think About It.
Yeah, I backed him that day.
Gelded, he'll be better for it. And then Nugget was good as well.
Nugget was good, yeah.
Nugget was fantastic, and they beat home pretty convincingly. And the market wanted to be with Argentia, and she was the fit horse.
Yeah. Do you know what annoys me? Zugotcha was in that race. I reckon she wins.
I don't know, mate. Like Golden Mile, that was pretty soft.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean. She drew pretty well, and she would have finished. She would have been in the top 4 or 5. Anyway.
Yeah, and then it's not a group race, but we'll indulge ourselves here. Red card.
Oh, good boy.
Adam Hippopotamus gets suspended from this.
Does he?
Yeah. So he was reckless riding early to hold out Audette.
Won us the race though. Good boy.
Yeah. But this was pretty soft by red card.
Mate, she carried some weight too.
Yeah.
You beat me to the punch on the podcast on Wednesday, basically saying you picked one in the last. I'm going to pick one. Red card. I was like, yeah, red card. So. Nah, it was an easy get out. Great day for Godolphin.
Oh, it's a huge day for Godolphin. And one thing I can't believe is that Smashing Eagle running into second. How Atmospheric Rock didn't win the highway because he finished like half a length off that thing.
Yeah.
This prep. Kidding me?
The Sydney Sauce. The Sydney Sauce trying to dissect the highway.
Honestly, mate. The highway and the midways, they are anyone's. Honestly.
Yeah, fucking. Do you want
I need to outsource.
Do you want Victoria or New South Wales? I'll take Victoria.
Fucking hell. All right, this is going to go for an hour, so let's get through it. Stapati. Thoughts on this?
He's a smart colt, mate. I'm a big fan, and yeah, I was very confident. Like all the money was coming for Brave Me during the week, but Stapati was sort of holding pretty firm. I was confident, mate. Like you're not 3 from 3, like dominant, being eased down, and then all of a sudden just lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was very confident, and he's just going to get better out to a mile, mate. The Caulfield Guineas is shaping up to actually be quite a handy race,
isn't it? So I'm doing some on the fly maths here. So they went a lot slower. They went about 7 to 8 lengths slower than the Charm Stone race. But then they've absolutely rocketed home. I think they ran home. I think about the same. About 6 to 7 lengths quicker than the Charm Stone race. But
glorified trial then for Stapati.
He smashed. Like he was just professional and heading towards a Caulfield Guineas. Don't know if he'll be on top selection, but he's definitely one of the ones I'll have a circle around. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think Brave Mead had to get going there with Zara on board that far out, but I thought he was a little bit flat.
Oh, I just thought Stapati was better. He's just better than him.
Yeah.
So yeah, back with confidence.
Better pattern.
Yeah.
Charm Stone now.
She was good.
She was great. And they've run really, really poor time home, but like not even featuring in like top 50 sort of stuff.
But look where she is.
Exactly. 3 wide, no cover, and they've gone pretty quick compared to that Stapati race early.
And Frosty just said, what's under the hood?
Yeah.
And
did what she needed.
Yeah.
Like this to me is on par with the impressiveness of a Cylinder,
Yep.
Because Cylinder held up. she did it the hard way. She got it done. Yeah, I don't know. I think I trust her more out to 1400 than Cylinder.
Yes, I agree. And goes up to Sydney for a Golden Rose, comes back down for a Coolmore. The fillies could have the boys measure again.
Yeah, it's young Werder going back-to-back drifters. I did not see that happening. To be fair, though, he's been running Cox plates and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So.
He has been. Oh, yeah, we've spoken about this race enough.
Yeah, Imperatriz was lightning.
Phenomenal.
Now, listen to a question that we'll finish off in the Fian. Did I write it down? I didn't. Pinstripes. Do you reckon he'll feature in something like, say, a Toorak handicap?
I think yes. I think he's a genuine handicap Group 1 horse. Pinstriped. If you take out his last prep, which was disappointing, he's got a phenomenal record.
Yeah.
EJ, Enver Jusevic. Love St Kilda. Pity for him yesterday, but he got the chockies here. Like, he trained Pinker. So he knows a good one when he has one. And I said on the podcast, I don't know how with him I was on the podcast. I might have given him a bit of a push.
Yeah.
But on the day, the more I looked at it, the more I was like, I'd much rather be with Pinstripe, who's run second to Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
In a PB than with Globe.
Yep.
You swap his run with Attrition's, and Attrition probably wins. But
so see here, this is what punters were highlighting, right? Look where he is.
Exactly.
That angle wasn't the right angle because that they did a screenshot of. It was just not fair on Benny Mellum at all.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I'm a big Pinstripe fan. I've found him a bit recently as well, and Attrition out of that, he's another handicap horse.
Yeah, I agree. Pinstripes, what he's developed this prep, I feel like he was sitting last.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that disappointing prep. So Ember's obviously put a lot of hard work into like his racing pattern manners, and it's definitely worked. So that's a sensational training performance.
Yeah.
Golden ticket into the Cox Plate as well. Start 30-1 there.
Yeah, he's not winning a Cox Plate. No. What are your thoughts on Globe?
Well, let me just get up this article.
Is the drifter question about Globe?
There isn't, but Globe suffers heart condition. So he's basically got he's got a cardiac arrhythmia, which this is what Jamie Carr said. So when asked about how Globe went, not good at all. Shocked me. Guessing it's something to do with his heart, but the vets will have a look because when he pulled up, he got real wobbly and fell over a bit and stood back up. So I thought it was his action about 600 meters out, stopped pulling him forward, but it was definitely not his action. It's something to do with his heart or something inside of him because he got real wobbly at the 200 and barely made it back. So obviously a forgive, but in hindsight, something that's spanking him at packing him by 4.5 lengths, albeit running the time, resuming it in a Group 2 weight for age over a mile.
You have to see it first.
Have to
see it first.
Yeah.
So clearly forgive, but no.
So horses to follow. What do you reckon?
Ooh, fantastic question. Sunshine in Paris is the one for me. Out of that entire day where I'm like, what is under the hood? Ends to party.
Yeah, I agree. I think those three that finished behind Golden Mile, the Inevitable.
Yep.
Nugget. Yep. What was the other one? The other one,
yep.
Waterford.
Yeah. Geez, the handicap mile races, the Epsom and the Toorak. Gee whiz. Like I'm trying to think of who I'm going to back in the Epsom. I'm like, Pericles, and it's like, no, but there's this and Toorak. You got that. And both of those races are always fantastic form races from what we've seen so far for the Golden Eagle.
Yes.
So, yeah, a bit of juice.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. Spring is shaping up.
I think one to follow, kind of like, but to lay for me is like, it seems outrageous. Is like, is Cylinder in the Golden Rose? I just don't think he can run it out.
You're not getting better than what, $3 for him in the Golden Rose?
Yeah, $3 or $4. It's like, if Shinzo's around the same price, I'm taking the price of Shinzo.
Mate, do you know who I'd rather take than Cylinder based on that run? Because the price difference will be there. Is Militarize. Militarize over 1,400 metres. Not his jam. Clearly, he's going to be a 2,000 metre horse, but like over 1,400 metres, he could put him away.
Yeah,
professionally.
V8 maybe.
V8.
If he heads that way,
I think he's being aimed at the Caulfield Guineas. Which look, Caulfield Guineas. Wow, shaping up.
Yeah, good stuff. We'll be back on Wednesday, Drifters. But until then, just keep. If you still got a team in finals, just keep a lid on things. All right.
Do you know who's one to follow from the meeting this weekend? Reece Walsh, Cameron Rayner,
Brisbane Lions, the Broncos, Buck.
Oh, I love Buck so much.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good to be a fan of Brisbane Drifters.
See you, Drifters.
Goodbye.